Welcome back everyone to more of our gameplay series of X4 Foundations, and we are currently aboard one of our carriers. In fact, you can see some of our small fighters are coming back into the docking bays and being stored away, where they will stay until the next invasion comes. So a lot of those, you can see more of our ships over there. That paint scheme and the logo stands out pretty nicely. So let's go ahead and pull up the map so I can show you guys where we are. Here we are in Hatikvah's Choice 1. So if we scoot over a little bit, you can see there. Hatikvah's Choice 1. And here is where the Xenon are coming out. And again, you can see there is lots and lots of debris out here with a lot of the vessels that have fallen. Now, if you take a look and see where we are currently with our fighting fleet, we have a couple of the Colossus Vanguards. Those are the carriers. So we have one extra large ship in each fleet, two large vessels, those are the behemoths. And then we have 13 and 8 respectively, those are the katanas, the medium-sized ships. And then each fleet has 20 of the fighters. And you can see those fighters, they come in and leave pretty quickly actually. It's not overall too terribly bad. And there's a few Argon vessels around here helping out as well. So our goal for today is very simple. We want to find a suitable location to add a defense station in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at some options. Now, this is going to be very expensive given the territory that we're looking to operate in. But let's just go ahead and see what we're dealing with here. We're going to start out with a 2x2 plot, I think. We're going to see if that works out. If not, we'll come back in and we will expand it if we can find a suitable location. Because honestly, where we're sitting right now is kind of the location that I want. But we'll see how this works out. So let's go ahead and do a create a plot. All right, so that's not too bad right in there. That's about 900 grand. We get down in here, 900 grand. Okay, that's a lot better than I thought. Unfortunately, this Xenon station that's no longer there, but the wreckage is, it is not being nice to us. So all right, that's as close as we can get down here, but that's not really where I want to be. Where I really want to be is right about in here somewhere. And you can see the Xenon sending out a few almost scout ships to see what's going on. And so I'm thinking like right here maybe. That's not too bad. Now the question is going to be, I need to move it up a little bit because I do want to expand on this in the future. Oh, we got some fighting going on. All right, now this poor medium-sized ship that you see just above the square has no shot. Look at that. Yeah, he's not going to last long. I mean, there's too much firepower for him in that area. So let's go ahead and put one right there. Now the first thing we need to do is buy the license. Again, 928,000 there. We're going to go ahead and buy that. We're not really trying to take over this sector right now. But okay, so now we've got that. Let's see what plan we want to load up. Let's load up the defense grid. So this is a basic station that I have, and we've seen this before earlier on. So essentially, you have your administrative center here on top. In my case, I got the Talati version of it. We've got a couple of container storages, which really aren't needed, but they were sort of put on there for future purposes. And then we've got our defense platforms right here on the edges. All right, so let's go ahead and get these all set up. All right, so we are going to arm this for the larger vessels. We're talking about the extra large vessels that the Xenon are going to send through. So we've got two large turret groups. I'm going to go with plasma here. Completely go with plasma on a lot of this. Probably not all of it on the large ones, but plasma is what's going to, based on what my understanding and my reading, is going to give us the best bet. Now, we're going to put some flak. Let's see. Yeah, we're going to stick with the Argon shields. And we're going to put some flak on some of these, and then we're going to put more plasma on some of these as well. Okay, so that's going to give us, I think, a nice array. I wonder what's happening out there. It sounds like something's going on. Or do we want to go Terran shields? Terran shields are probably better, now that I think about it. It shouldn't make all that much difference, but I tell you what. Oh yeah, we're definitely fighting out there. We've got a lot of argon shields on here. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's do the Terran shields. I really don't know off the top of my head which one is better. I do know the Terran shields should be a little bit easier to build, given the materials needed. Now keep in mind, this is going to be very expensive to do over the long term because this is only the beginning. I plan on just trying to get this out and set up. Alright, so that's the one we just took care of, and that's probably going to be away from. I'm guessing the jump gate is up here in this direction. So the next defense platform, there we go. That'll be the first one they actually come to. So again, we're going to have 4 of the large plasma turrets, and let's go ahead and continue on with that. Let's go ahead and do, what do we want to do here? Let's go ahead and do the plasma again. And the Terran shields. So again, this is just all my guess based on what I have read. About the only thing I can tell you that seems to work for me is I have seen the flak turrets on the large vessels in action, and they do seem to chop down those fighters pretty efficiently. And plus they sound really cool, so I love that. And I want to make sure that we have as much firepower for the bigger vessels as we can get, and plasma seems to be the way to go for that. Okay, so we've got shields and turrets there. Okay, there's that one. Alright, so we're doing the bridge platforms first. Once again, all plasma on the large. I'll mix in a few of the pulses probably at some point, but for the most part. Alright, let's go ahead and do some more flak and get those Terran shields. We'll do some more flak here. And the Terran shields. Okay, there we go. So now we've got flak here and flak here. Okay, let's make sure. I think that's the one we just did, right? Plasma, shields, flak. Okay, yep, that's the one we just did. So now the final one is going to be here on the right-hand side. So, I tell you what, let's do the pulse on that one. So we'll have 4 large turrets, all pulse on that one. And then same thing on the underside. And here we're going to go back to the plasma. And the Terran shields. Well, you can hear all the chatter out there. One thing these pilots love to do, which seems a bit odd to me, is they like to talk a lot of trash, considering the fact that if you lose these battles, you die in space. You're just going to be in space, dead, floating. That seems like an odd time to talk a lot of trash. All right, here we go. Now we get into the disc platforms instead of the bridge. All right, so for these, we're going back to the plasma for the large. And then the medium, let's see, where do we want to go? Do I want to go... Let's stick with the plasma on this. Love those sounds. You can hear that deep bass sound with all the fighting and the destruction. Love it. Absolutely love it. All right, so we're going to end up with a lot of turrets that will hopefully give us a great opportunity against the large vessels. Alright, so the second disc platform, the first one was, okay, so it's on this far side on the left. Oh yeah, definitely lots of fighting going on out here. Hopefully we're not losing. That's all I can hope right now. Look at this one. There's 10 turrets on there. I love that. 10 large turrets. Yes, and please. Okay, we gotta hurry up and get done with this because I am dying to see what's going on out there. I want to see if it's a large scale or if they're just simply sending more scout type ships through. Just a few here and there. They seem to do that quite a bit. Alright, now this is the first one they're gonna see. So plasma all around there. And let's see, let's just stick with the plasma. I mean, I'm liking that idea. Again, this is more for the big ships. We're going to have more ships in the area that will hopefully take care of a lot of the fighters, as well as the medium vessels. That's what I'm hoping anyway. And who knows, this may turn around and go horribly wrong. Alright, that's the one we just did. Just want to make sure on that. And then the container storage. Again, not really needed right now. But the container storage, we're going to outfit it as well. Now, it doesn't have near the firepower on it. But that's okay. It's more firepower anyway. We'll take all we can get. So, again, we're going to continue going with the plasma in most spots. Right, there we go. There's the first one. And then the second one. So my plan is to start here with this basic setup and then expand on this to continue adding more, assuming this holds up. And that is a big assumption right now on my part, because when they start sending the huge battleships through, I'm not sure this is going to hold up, but I'm sure hoping it does. We got a lot of shields on here and a lot of weapons. So let's go ahead and confirm that. Alright, there we go. Now let's assign a builder, and I almost feel sorry for the builder we're assigning here, because you are going to be in the middle of everything. First thing we got to do is find one. Alright, where is this guy? Oh, he's right there next door. I didn't even see him. He was right there next to the highway. Okay, awesome. Alright, so he was sitting... Yeah, there he is right there. I didn't even notice him initially. So we've got one sitting right here between the Xenon and the superhighway. Again, remember, what we're trying to protect is all of the ships, not just ours, all of the ships that are coming either way on this highway and getting off and trying to get down to go over here to Hatikvah's Choice 3, which is a popular mining spot as well as trading opportunity. Alright, right now it looks like everything is pretty quiet. So those must have been just simple vessels. I'm also looking around for any damage. I don't see any off the top of my head. Let's actually head back out. Let's just pare this down a little bit. Alright, where are we at here? We are in Morningstar. How on earth did we get into Morningstar with that view? Alright, so I don't see any losses that we've taken. Still 2 large vessels each. 13 and 8, 20 and 20. I don't think we took any losses there. So that's good. So now the job of our guys is to simply defend as this thing is being built. So now, I would say in contested, that's because of us. We're going to be contesting this probably, unless the Argon have come in and built, as you can see right here, defense platforms. I don't plan on building that many over here. There's Argon. Okay, so that's why it's contested. Yep, you've got 2 of each that I see off the top of my head here, and there might be a few more that I'm going to miss. So it's contested there with 2 each. So if we build another one, hey, we'll be right up there with the rest of them. And if we build 2 more, then based on what I'm seeing right now, we will be in the lead. Again, not that that's a huge deal for me. Not that I really care all that much. Alright, so let's go ahead under information. And funds for station construction. I'm going to put in about 5 million here. 5.4 is good. Now you can see it's saying we're going to need about 9.5. But that number is going to be ever evolving because I'm going to continue adding to that. And I also know that most of this is going to be provided by our own ships. So it's simply going to come out of this number at the top. That's where most of this is going to show up. Alright, so let's go ahead and rename this. Let's do... I think that is probably what we want to do. KPG, Hatikvah, Defense 1. That'll serve for now. We can always change it later if we need to. Okay, I like that. Look at this ship down here. Wow. Okay, that was a very odd exit from the highway. Very interesting. All right, I like that. Let's come in under the plan build and let's see what we've got. So resource needed to complete changes. Here you can see we've already got some things going. Only one of our ships is showing up so far, but that's okay. And of course they're bringing energy cells because we got a ton of those. All right, but here very shortly we should have these start to fill up and more of our ships start to pop up in that list. Anything going on out here? A little bit. There you go. There's the flak. There's those flak turrets doing what they do. Unfortunately, we can't really see the fighter that I'm sure by now has been utterly decimated. Then you got these poor miners that are... Is he going to get through? Looks like they are. Now, we'd prefer not to let any of them through, but somehow the AI misses some of these. Not all the time, but some of the time. I'd just like to be this guy. You want to talk about jumping right into the fire. Wow. Okay, very nice. So let's go ahead, now that we've gotten that, I want to... Who are y'all chasing? Oh, yep, now they've gotten around to chasing the miners. They just saw those and decided to jump on it. Alright, so let's see, what do we want to upgrade next? So if I come back to our fleets, in fact, let's just do this so we can sort of pare this down a little bit to the ones that are here in Hatikvah with us. So I think if we're going to need anything else, we could use a few more large ships in here, or extra large for that matter, since the difference in cost is not that big. Really nice seeing Argon bring some vessels in here as well. I like that. Thank you very much. Helping out the cause. Alright, so some large ships. Let's do that. Let's just do large ships. Why not? Alright, we'll bring that out. We'll get rid of that for right now. And again, I'm just going to come back over here to Argon because, well, those are the most cost-effective for us. Do we want more carriers? I don't think we need more carriers right now. Even though, of course, they got the biggest hull. But it's hard for me not to. Very hard. Because of the cost on there. You can see we're at 19.8 there. And if we come back, the Behemoth, we're at 12.3, or 12.9, I should say. Right at 13. So... yeah, that is... if we're going to buy from Argon, then... okay, let's just go ahead and do that. And let's take a look at our... not the weapons. We don't have really any choices for weapons. But we do have choices for turrets. So we've got our plasma on here. We've got one pulse. I'm fine with that. We've got flak on here. Plasma. Flak and plasma. Okay, good. I'm totally good with that, even though I'm not excited about these other numbers. So let's go ahead and add a couple of these to the shopping list. Don't want to get too carried away and spend all of our money. You can see, woo, whole parts. Yikes. All right, 2,200's a lot. What about, let's go down here to Antigone Memorial. That is just, that's a lot. All right. And instantly, you can see we've got better numbers here. These are simply better made. We got our shields. All right, what kind of turret groups do I have on this? We've got our plasma on both. We got plasma on everything. Okay, I can live with that. That's not terrible. I wouldn't want all of them outfitted as that. We're at 15. Okay, once again, I'm okay there. Consumables. Okay, we got our laser towers in there. Good. And everything is on defend. Actually, let's do... Wow. Let's just leave them on defend. I'm thinking I might want to change that later on, but for right now, let's see what we got. Oh, look at this. Look at this. We're missing all the whole parts. Again, can you really see why it is in your best interest to start making your own production? Wow. Okay, looks like we're going to have to wait, because that's probably going to take a while for them to get all of those. But one thing we can do is we can come back down to... Oh, there it is. In Cigaris, and we can build some more ships of our own. So let's do that. Alright, so again, we're going to stick to the Terran models. Okay, where we've got speed and maneuverability. And I might want to make a few changes, though, to the turrets, maybe. Let's see, we've got our weapons. We've got essentially the Gatling gun and the pulse laser. Okay, I can deal with that. I can deal with that. I thought I might want to change it. And we got, what, a couple of... no, we are not going to do the bolts. We're actually going to do the flak here. Now, these are argon, but I have adjusted the wharf so that it keeps turret components in stock as well. So we should have plenty to make this. Should. We'll find out. Alright, so we're not going to worry about the warnings about the number of people and stuff. We're not going to do that. Let's see. Attack fighters. Alright, so let's start with 20 here. Okay, I don't see any warnings about missing anything, so we'll go ahead and do 20 of these. Okay, we'll let those get started. So that is what I needed to get accomplished today. So these guys are sending out, again, these are just small parties that they're sending out. So nothing big is really happening right now. I've been waiting because since I got the extra large carriers over here, it has been a few minutes, and I was kind of wondering when they were going to send that first Xenon K through, which, in case you're wondering, the Xenon K is, did it just disappear? There was one floating right over here that we had destroyed. Oh, it just disappeared. But it is the extra large. It's the battleship of, oh, there it is right there. The Zen K. We can only see it when we zoom out to a certain extent. Yeah, there it is. It's in a different location. But that's what I was waiting on. The extra large. And I'm hoping that we can actually get much farther along in this build. Oh, there you go. Wow, things are really starting to happen. There you can see we've got more of our ships in here now. But yeah, this is what I like to see. It's certainly not everything we need, but it's a long way toward getting everything we need. And this is pretty quick, which means that I can now start to add to this design. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to add probably in all directions here as best I can. I will probably try to stretch this out left to right here on the grid, as well as a little bit farther forward. And then I'm going to try to figure out the best way to go sort of north and south, up and down here on this grid as well, so that we can have the ultimate firepower. Because you can see this is going to get done pretty quickly. So I'll work on that offline. But once again, things are progressing quite well here in the X universe. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and stick around for more X4 Foundations.